And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could be here with us. We are simulcasting live from Los Angeles today. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our friends on Amazon Live. And hello to you all on Amazon Live. I'm Cyrus Webb. So glad you could join us live from Los Angeles as we're in town covering the Holly Shorts Film Festival. But you know we have to keep our great conversations going. And one of the books I get to share with the participants of the film festival, I'm excited to welcome the author today. We're talking about best-selling author, motivational speaker, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. She's the author of the book you guys see here with me here in Los Angeles. She said yes to herself unapologetically. For those joining us on the Amazon side, we have it highlighted for you guys in the carousel. You can see the Kindle edition is only $3.99, or you can get the paperback like I have here for $19.99. There are other books from Chanelle as well. You guys will see in the carousel, included Naked and Not Ashamed. You all can see it there too. I want to talk to Chanelle not only about this amazing journey she's been on, but also what's been like for her to take us along the journey with us, and also how she's been able to inspire other women like she does in this book as well. We are simulcasting, as I mentioned, so I do welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and on Instagram as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Chanelle, make sure you guys do put those in the chat. I want to give a quick shout out, Chanelle, to some of those already joining us. Robert, hello to you. Good to see you over there. Also here joining us on IG. Also, we have Dr. Norma. Hello to you. Mr. LRB, who I just spoke with on Cyrus Represents. Thank you so much for joining us. Melissa, hello to you. Glad you could be with us too. Now that that's out of the way, Chanelle, welcome back to the broadcast.
Cyrus, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Look, glad to have you represented here in Los Angeles with me. Excited about being able to tell people about your book. She said yes to herself unapologetically. So this conversation is going to kind of whet their appetite, Chanelle, as I'm headed to the film festival later on today, actually. So I'm excited about being able to talk to you a little bit about the book. What has it been like for you, Chanelle, to see the way that people have responded to the book and the message of the book?
You know what, Cyrus, it's truly been humbling. I really appreciate, that the readers really kind of get in the lens that I was hoping to be able to connect with them on. And it's just been a rewarding experience when you feel like you're being transparent and you're kind of bearing awe and sharing things with people. It's just great to be received and be understood. And so it's just been an amazing experience.
Yeah. Did you know going into the book, Chanelle, that it was going to be not just your sharing your story, but also your survival tips that could help other people?
You know what, Cyrus? No, I didn't. After I wrote my first book, Naked and Not Ashamed, I was, really on YouTube, and they were saying nothing helps your book get out there like your next book. And as I was thinking about it, I thought about what is something that I feel very passionate about, what's something that I can really speak on, and something that I would love to continue to write in that vein. And empowerment is just one of those topics that really just gets my own blood boiling. And so I was really excited about it. And the fact that it's provided so many tips for others has just been something that's been nothing less of inspirational for me.
Yeah, I love that. Damon, hello to you over on IG. Thank you so much for joining us live. Appreciate that. We're broadcasting live here from Los Angeles today. I'm in town for the Holly Shorts Film Festival. But before I go into that later on today, I'm doing some great conversation. I spoke with Mr. Angela Ellaby earlier. Now we're talking to best-selling author, motivational speaker, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. I actually have her book with me here in Los Angeles. We're going to be sharing it with some of the attendees at the film festival. So I want to talk about that experience, Chanelle, because you have literally been outside of the state where you live, being able to share this message. So what has that been like for you to be able to share this message of empowerment and encouragement, both online and offline?
You know what, Cyrus? I want to say it's been something that's really been inspiring. I think when you have a moment in life where you have your own, rock bottom experience and you feel like giving up and you feel like all hope is lost, and when you're able to come out on the other side of that and then use that experience to help others come out of similar circumstances and situations, it really makes it feel as if, what you're doing is worthwhile and as if your life has meaning. So it's been something that's been truly inspirational to me as well. So it's something that's really given back to me.
I love that. Official Ed Porter, hello to you. Good to see you as well. And your message is definitely resonating. There were 2 points I wanted to make sure for those who haven't read your book, Chanelle, that we really bring out. One of those is, as the title alludes to, she said yes to herself unapologetically. And now more than ever, especially with a lot of, I don't have kids of my own, as you know, Chanelle, but a lot of parents are involved right now with back to school activities. And it's all about the kids, right? All about, maybe their family. Talk to us about how you've been unapologetic about taking care of yourself, but making sure you're loving yourself first. I know this has been a journey for you to get there, but what has it been like to embrace that?
You know what, Cyrus? I think it is just an evolutionary process, especially for women. I think men kind of instinctively know, and that's kind of ingrained, and they know that it's okay to do those things for themselves. But as women, we're trained to be mothers, to be, aunts, to be, all of these nurturers and carry these various roles. And we see ourselves as self-serving, and doing something for yourself seems selfish, and as if you're neglecting and dropping other things. And so it takes time, and you have to smack yourself up against the wall a couple of times to learn the lesson that it's important to take care of you too, that you are important, that you have value. And so learning that lesson has been a game changer for me. But there are times when you just still even continue to struggle with it, because you have these various roles that you play in the different spaces that you hold for different people. You're trying to be all things to all people, but you have to first love yourself and be intentional about taking care of you.
Yeah, I think that is such an important thing. And the other thing I'm going to say, to stick with that for a second, Chanelle, is that we all have heard about, the cup, right? And I love the way that somebody posted recently on social. I can't remember who posted it, but said that what's in the cup is for me. What the overflow is for you. And if you don't have that overflow, you can't help others. Talk to us about that connection for you, because for a lot of people that may seem counterintuitive, right? A lot of people feel like they have to keep pouring and pouring and pouring into others. But how important has it been for you to realize that you have to make sure that you're full before you can pour into somebody else?
Cyrus, what really made that moment come full circle for me is revisiting the first time that I heard a stewardess say, hey, in the event of an emergency, pull down the oxygen mask will drop, put on the oxygen mask for yourself first, and then you can help others. And the first time that I heard it, I thought it was the most selfish thing that I'd ever heard in my life. And it wasn't until time and experience that I learned that you can't help others. You can't truly serve others if you yourself aren't taken care of, if you yourself aren't happy, whole, and have what you needed to be able to just to provide help to others. And so what's in my cup, I am worthy of the blessings and everything that God has poured into me. Why? Because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and so are you. And the thing is, so what's in my cup is needed, it's essential for me, and I'm supposed to have it. And that's God's gift to me. But God is not a God of scarcity, so he gives abundance and overflow, because he does want us to be able to serve others. So what's in my cup is essential, and it's necessary for me to be able to show up in a space where I can serve others, and the overflow is my gift to them.
Yeah, such a great thing. And I want to say, before I go to the second point in the book, for everyone who don't know, Chanelle is hyphenated. I just called her a best-selling author, motivational speaker, but she's also a publicist herself. She's also involved in marketing and promotion of others as well. And I want to talk a bit about that, because one of the things that people have seen you being able to do, Chanelle, that I've benefited from as well, is using your ability to market using video. And also, of course, to use the gift of your voice. I want to talk about that, because I wonder how much you really think about that. That it's not just, we hear people all talk all the time about finding their voice. You not only have found your voice, Chanelle, you are using your voice to amplify the brands and businesses of others. How does that feel?
Cyrus, I love it. As a creative, I've been that way since childhood, and I'm always coming up with stories, and I see stories in everything. And so you can't always put on a play or do something really dramatic, but you can crunch it down into a small little advertisement, and it tells its own story. So I love being able to help people recognize what their story is, to find ways to be able to connect with their clients, and to provide a service to them that's going to be worthwhile, but also, budget friendly. So I love being able to provide that service to others.
Yeah, and I've been glad to be able to work with you on that. Tracy O'Neill Horton, hello to you. Tracy, we're here in Los Angeles. I have your book K3 on with me as well. I'll be showcasing that a little bit later. Glad to have you on with us too. I want to talk about camaraderie for a second, Chanelle, because part of what you've been able to do is find your tribe, which
Yeah.
means you've come to realize what is very difficult for a lot of people to appreciate and accept is that not everybody is for you. So, what has
Mm-mm.
it been like for you to identify those who are for you and to make sure that you're able to work together with them?
Cyrus, I think it's a moment where you have to have your own accountability. I think there was a time where I didn't see the worth of my own table, and I identified myself by sitting at other people's table and, kind of
Mhm.
made my value equate with that. And I had to learn through trial and error that I have my own worth, and there are things that I bring to my table, and I have seats and furnishings. And, it is a privilege to sit at someone else's table, but it's also a privilege for someone to sit at my table as well. And so I'm much more conscious of who I allow to share company with me. Why? Because I know how I am. I'm a giver, and I'm going to go 110%. And so I have to be selective because some people are just takers. Unfortunately, they're not in relationships to be able to be reciprocal. They're just in it for what they can get. And so I'm not going to change who I am. I'm a giving person by nature, and that's who I'm going to continue to be. But I have to be selective on who I'm giving with. So the things is that I question myself is, number one, is this a situation where we can have some reciprocity? Does this person value our connection? Are they willing to make some of these same adjustments? And are they willing to make these things for me as I'm willing to do them for them? And if those things match up and they align, then I'm all in.
Yeah, love that. Speaking of using your gifts, Robert of All Sports Headgear says, and you're good at it, and he has the emojis there. And you really are. You really are gifted, Chanelle. I fuss at Chanelle sometimes because a lot of times she wants to bring the whole village. Sometimes when I just need her. so, so, but, but she means that's just who she is, and I think for a lot of people, that's what makes it more difficult, right? But it's also, I love you use the word accountability because that's really it. At the end of the day, we can only think about, what we can do. We want the best for other people, but it really is for us to make sure we're doing our own. The second thing I want to go back to the book because it actually ties into the second point I wanted to mention from the book, Chanelle. And if you guys have not gotten Chanelle's book, she said yes to herself unapologetically. As I mentioned, you can get the paperback here for $19.99, or you can get the Kindle edition, have it highlighted in the carousel on Amazon for $3.99. If you guys are not joining us on the Amazon platform, if you're joining us on other platforms, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, we have the link to bring you guys over to Amazon. On X, I'll post it in the comments after we go off the air here. And on IG, I'll make sure I put it in the stories for you guys too. But I want to talk about boundaries because you do address that in the book, Chanelle. The importance of setting boundaries. And again, it goes to being able to say yes to yourself, but understanding that also means you cannot say yes to everybody else all the time. How important has setting those boundaries been to helping you grow, but also helping other people how they can grow?
You know what, Cyrus? Boundaries are so important. Even in nature, God has, in the script boundaries that tell the land that it goes this far, the sea starts at this point, the atmosphere, gravity, all those things have different respects and confines of areas where they're supposed to exist in. And a lot of times, I would formerly thought that, boundaries were for other people, but the boundaries are really truly for me. Boundaries help me to show myself what I expect and what I'm willing to accept. Boundaries, you teach people how to treat you. If I allow you to walk all over me, then you're going to walk all over me because I allowed you to do so. And I think there was a time where I was like, this person did this or this person did that. And I didn't take any accountability for what was happening in the situation. I was just taking the victim role. But I had to understand that people did that because I made it accessible and I opened up the door for those things to happen. But my statement doesn't by any means, refer to like abuse in any of its forms. But for the most part, that anything outside of abuse, we allow and accept so many things. And then people then take that permission to say, well, they accepted it the first time, well, then I'll do it again, and I'll do it again. And so it's just taught me that I have to be more, no one can advocate for me better than myself. I know what I like and what I don't like, and I have to be able to articulate that. And I think that's something, as a person who come up from childhood sexual abuse, feeling like I had my voice snatched, like I couldn't speak up for myself. You know, I wanted people to kind of intrinsically understand that they did something to harm me, or that I didn't like something without me vocalizing it. But that was a cop out, and I had to learn that I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. And so I had to take back my voice. And so I have to tell people how I want to be treated, and I have to show them, you know, unfortunately, if we find out that you're not going to be able to be respectful of what the boundaries are, then I have to, you know, move accordingly.
Right. Such a great point. And that goes to the last thing I want to talk to you about, Chanelle. And it's something that I love seeing you being able to embrace. I love seeing other people embrace. And I have to remind myself of this too. And that is to recognize and appreciate and celebrate your own worth and value. And you talk about that in the book, and the way that you lovingly address the primarily the women who are reading your book, right? Calling them gorgeous, you know, making sure they're doing it. How important has that been for you to be able to look in the mirror and to celebrate the person who you are?
Cyrus, it's like when I say it's a full circle moment, because there was a time when I had very low self-esteem, and I was constantly measuring myself against what another woman had. You know, her hair is so pretty, or her skin is so this, and she does this so well, and she does this so well. And each time I would do that, you know, I would shrink myself and try to fit inside of a mold that I wasn't made to fit in. I'm me. I'm instinct. I'm a unique individual, and that's okay. And I'm beautiful, and it doesn't take away from this sister if she's beautiful. And I think as women, we're just really naturally hard on ourselves. You know, we're judging ourselves about, you know, we're way worse than any critics can possibly be about our body types, our skin tones, you know, our accolades, education. We're just really naturally hard on ourselves. And so I really want to just remind women to love on themselves, that they are amazing, that they are gorgeous just as they are, perfectly flawed, and that they don't need to change a thing about themselves, that they just love themselves as they are. And if you choose to make changes, then so be it. But you're beautiful just the way you are.
Love that. Such a great message and such a great reminder. Now, as I mentioned, Chanelle, you've been not, of course, sharing the messages from your books. You have anthologies you've been a part of. You've been out there speaking as well. What are you looking forward to as we're it's hard to believe we're halfway through the month of August. What's your audience be on the lookout for from you next?
Well, first of all, Cyrus, I'm excited because I'll be going with Ari Wells. We'll be going to Johannesburg, Africa, and Cape Town. We'll be leaving on August the 25th. So we're really excited about that. We're going to be going over to the university there and sharing input into a very important conversation, talking about the sexism and the disparage that the women face for gender-based violence over in that part of the world. So we're really excited to be able to provide such a comments and conversation on such an important topic. And of course, I have some new books getting ready to come down the pike. So I'm excited about our collaboration with Melissa Banks and Kate Thurman and yourself, helping people to get media exposure. So those are some of the things that are happening in my neck of the woods, and things that I'm truly, truly, truly excited about. Oh, and the Christian Book Lovers Retreat. I'm teaching a class this time, and I'm so excited. And my amazing person, Dr. Velma Bagby, gave me that invitation. So I'm just really excited about all the things that are coming along the pipe for 2024.
Love that. A lot of great things for sure. Suzanne Gross's Comparisons Are the Death of Your Soul. Suzanne's another great author. Now, she's going to be coming on Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon next month. And also, she's going to be with me, joining me, taking her book with me to our producers meeting next month as well. So, Suzanne, good to see you joining us. Chanelle, I want to say I'm so proud of you and so happy we had this chance while we're in Los Angeles to be able to talk to you. I know I'm going to be sharing your book with our audience as I leave, going to the film festival today. But I'm excited to be able to use the Amazon platform and this platform to be able to tell you how proud I am of you. And thank you so much for reminding people, giving themselves permission to say yes to themselves, but also showing them the benefits of doing so. So I really appreciate that. How can they stay connected with you, Chanelle?
Cyrus, first of all, again, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You are such an amazing publicist, and I appreciate everything that you do, even when you do fuss at me, because I need that too. So thank you for all that you do. It takes a lot to deal with me, Stokes, and he's just amazing. So shameless plug. If you're looking for a publicist, he doesn't have much room, but if you're looking for a publicist, make sure you contact my publicist, Cyrus Webb, because he's the best. And people can connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram at Chanelle Coleman Wesley.
All right, love it. Chanelle, congratulations again. Glad to be able to share the book. Look for the pictures later on of me being able to share it with the producers here at the film festival, and looking forward to our conversation together.
I am too. Have a great day, Cyrus. Enjoy the festival.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Lisa, hello to you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate that. And thank all of you. If you guys came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Chanelle. The replay will be available on all the platforms. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. Also, I will be going to the Holly Shorts Film Festival here in just a bit. So make sure you guys are following me on social to be able to see not only, of course, some of the great books I'm going to be able to share, but we have some great gifts from my Amazon partners as well. And when I say some great gifts, some great gifts. So look for those to be shared as well. Until next time, I'm Cyrus Webb saying thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.